Are you ready? Let's get started. So, welcome to another episode of Uncle Rowbags Scavenger Hunt. Welcome to another episode of Uncle Rowbags Scavenger Hunt.
Welcome to everybody who's here. It is the 8th of April. It's the scavenger hunt from Jules, not from Rowan.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to Uncle Rowbags Scavenger Hunt. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you a list of 10 items to find in your household, and then you've got half an hour to find them. Something that's slippery. Something you can see through. Something that would make you late for work. A domino effect. A reenactment of a classic video game. Mission Impossible. A big art attack. I need a lip sync to end all lip syncs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please can you keep your clothes on and get hunting?
To be ready for some action now.
How did we approach the tasks? Easy one, this one, by just opening up the dressing up box, finding what's inside, and seeing what we could link to whichever task it was.
Diving in, dressing up, getting wet at times. Yeah.
My approach to the video was twofold. Number one, like I have today, I wanted to find a way to subtly incorporate my Renaissance fair garb into each and every challenge. It's probably going to be canceled this summer, so I wanted to find a way to get my stuff out of my closet and really enjoy it.
How did you approach the tasks? Well, because we've been doing it from 4 different houses actually altogether, we approached it very differently every week, and we'd sit down, listen to the entry, and then I don't know, Cheryl and I just whiz round and we'd do the easier ones first, or the ones that we could think of straight away. We'd do those ones first, and we always saved the hardest ones till last and panicked about those, and then just got them done.
How did you approach the tasks?
Randomly.
Just went for it?
Yeah. Whatever they were, we just kind of said the first thing that came to our minds. I think because we were doing it with Vicky and Dan and they weren't in the same house, it was very much if one of us had an idea, we kind of delegated them a little bit, and then saw what was left. Yeah. So, yeah, random as usual. There's no prep you can do.
How did you approach the tasks?
Okay, well, Team Lomax is in 2 separate households, so we'd watch you at 7 o'clock. We'd give each other a call on WhatsApp, and we'd read through them, and we'd go, you do this one, we're doing this one, and then we'll run off and do them all and come back, and it's great for us to still stay in touch and everything through it all. It's been, yeah. And as for approaching them, we just sort of went with it. There was no planning or anything. Obviously, you know, we can't plan because there's not really
enough time.
Yeah, yeah, not enough time, is it? So we just go for it.
What I normally did when I got the results, the list, is I listened to the live feed, wrote down all 10 items. Then I usually went to the kitchen because that's where all my stuff basically is. I got lots of different variety, so I thought of the stuff in there, ticked them off as I went, and then went to other rooms trying to think of different things, maybe better things, better ideas.
How did we approach the tasks? Madness.
Always a comedic. We always try to be funny.
Yeah, try to be funny.
It didn't necessarily always be funny, but that's what we tried.
I think sometimes we thought we'd try and be too literal, and then when we saw other answers, we were like, oh, that could have been easy because we just photographed that over there, that piece of something that's from Germany. But we were always trying to think too literal and comedic, perhaps.
How did we approach the tasks? Well, as soon as we got the list, we thought straight away, is there any of those that are really obvious that we could do straight away? Something that, actually I know exactly what that is. So the first few were impulsive, followed by the ones we had to think a bit more about. And I think we tended to leave the ones at the end that were...
Like if they were acted out, or if it required lots of props or maybe costume. But sometimes we would just have ideas would just pop and come into our heads, and we'd say, oh, let's try this. And obviously some weeks were easier than others, but that's generally how we approach the tasks.
So how did I approach the tasks? Well, every morning I got up and I had my regular walk around the quays, and I would have to have a think about different things that we could do. I was looking on TV programmes for sources of inspiration. Like, obviously, I got the lip sync from RuPaul's Drag Race. I got the something camouflage from Skin Wars. And yeah, it was really interesting to see like different topics that came up into my crazy little brain. Obviously, I had to make them a little bit more challenging every week, because I realised like the first week I made it super easy, and some weeks I realised that I made it a little bit difficult, so I had to have a fair balance, picking ones that only one person could win, and even setting the large tasks. That was really, really good.
Favourite entry or week to do?
I had to do, my favourite entry was all the Eurovision stuff. I absolutely loved the Eurovision 2020, where I did Australia, and then also loved when I did Conchita Wurst, so the kind of take on the Eurovision winner.
And I like not the bonus ones, the ones where only one person would get the 2 points, so it was the longest or the tallest. And I thought they were clever, trying to work out how to get the second longest, whatever it might be.
I think actually the most fun one that we did was the Eurovision one, where we got the stuff together and we made like we made the little thing for Cheryl to play, and we took the microphone up for me, and we learnt the words and videoed it, and it took about 3 takes to get it right, but it was but yeah, that was good fun. Really enjoyed that one.
My favorite entry was the one where I used this little guy to win the Bird of Prey challenge. He's a lot of fun to get out and play with, and when I take him with me places, I always have kids like trying to pet him. It's really cute. So that was kind of fun.
My favourite week to do probably was the one with the Eurovision reenactment in it, just because of the fact that it was the first week that I struggled to choose like winners of the bonus points, and as well, like I've only got a short amount of time in which to come up with the winners for each one and analyse which ones were the best entries. However, I couldn't stop laughing at the entries, and so it was really hard to like actually like, you know, concentrate on what I was doing.
Favourites wise, I think week one's got to be the favourite, because that's like when we first got to grips with it, and it was so crazy.
I was dressed as a dragon.
When you dressed as a dragon? Yeah. I don't know, I just love dressing up, as I'm sure you can tell. My favourite one probably that I've done would be the classic throwing the bottle of wine all over myself.
The favourite entry / week to do, for myself, it was definitely seeing Ant in a drag for the Miss World.
Yeah, we expected Nat to send something with a sash and a wig on, and then we just saw Ant doing that. That was incredible. I've never seen him so graceful.
Our favourite entry that we did was Super Mario Brothers. We loved that. But obviously the scores are not in. We're doing this in between the
announcements of
the announcements of so
final results.
There might be an epic one there. Depends whether Rowan picks it or not.
I think the turning point was when we got 15 points, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a special week for us because we tried our best as we do every week, and we didn't expect to get 15 points. So the entries just went down well with Uncle Rowbags, and we were pleased, But certainly it was a turning point for us. We thought, wow, how did we do that?
I think that was our most exciting week as well, wasn't it?
We could never replicate it again. It was an off. It was 1 in a million, and we're glad we had that.
Any turning points? I think for me, I was sort of initially starting it just to do a couple of them, but then as we headed towards the top, it got to the point that we had to continue doing it because we didn't want to lose our place within the top 3. So that was a turning point, was getting to there and then having to continue in that position.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Turning points wise,
we didn't do it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, because Vicky went back to work, and that was a bit of a tough time, and didn't feel right really to do it without her. And you've been working a couple of times as well, haven't you? So
yeah, a lot of them, to be fair.
Any turning points during the competition? It was definitely probably when Vicky went back to work. She was called off furlough, so that kind of put a bit of a delay in us being able to be a bit more consistent with it, because obviously getting into the swing of work after the lockdown, it was quite strenuous, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was a big shock to the system after not leaving the house for 8 weeks.
I've had several turning points throughout the whole competition. On a personal level, I think that by about week 3, I realised, because I was watching the videos back and I was like, I wanted to do a really good job of what I was doing, and I realised that my vocabulary is quite limited. I kept on saying that things were hilarious, and if you notice, I say the word "so" at the start of every single sentence. So I downloaded an app on my phone called Vocabulary Builder, and I was trying to find different ways of expressing items. So if anything, this has been a really good, chance to expand my vocabulary. At the same time, a turning point for me was I really dipped in confidence about halfway through, because I've realised I was making a few little mistakes on the results shows, and eventually I managed to get my shit together, and after a couple of weeks it was really good, because of the fact that I managed to organise. I got a system that worked for me, so that was a turning point for me personally. In the competition, I think the turning point was probably week 8 or episode 8. I think I don't know if we've been here 1,000 weeks doing it, I don't know. But week 8 was different because of the fact that we had so many teams playing, and we had 3 new teams. We had Swedish House Mafia, PMJ All-Stars, and that was the first week that House of Lumiere came in as well. And I think that they just did such a great job. I think it put the willies up quite a few of the teams, because it got comfortable at the top, and they realised that, hold on a minute, you still need to up your game, you still need to bring something new and raise your level in order to win episodes.
Turning point really for us was the first week we did it. We just didn't know what we were doing, and just everything was up in the air. And then you were just right, stop. I'm just very loosey, controlled, organised.
It was just trying to okay, we've got enough time, let's plan what we're going to do, and then go off and do it. But we definitely found a turning point as well, is that you can give a lot more into Sunday's performance than Wednesday's, because finishing a day at work and then getting your head into Scavenger Hunt was quite hard.
Not so much for me because I'm not working. But,
Perfect. Welcome to the results show.
Okay, so thank you to the 6 teams that took part tonight. I'm normally one of the teams, but obviously tonight I'm hosting instead. It's been absolutely hilarious.
Welcome back. What a challenging scavenger hunt. Joint for the top were Team TL and John Solo Orchestra with 11.5 points. Guys, well done. But this week's winners is the Green Mice. 11 points. The 2 people who definitely shone out this week were the Watfries. They're in first place.
In first place is Dr. Fishy Witches, and I hope I've said that right, So well done.
And this week's tiebreaker is going to be Team Lomax and the Greenfield Mice, okay? With 12 points each. The winner this week was Team Lomax. So, Team TL and the Greenfield Mice, I am challenging you to win the episode. Team TL, you are this week's victors. Well done, absolutely incredible. Which means there is only one team that have won. I have said they're the dark horse of this competition, and this week they came through for the win. Team Lomax, congratulations, you win with 12 points. The Greenfield Mice, you have got your first win in the bag. Congratulations, 12.5 points. Which leaves, surprisingly, Team Serenity. I knew that you had it in you. You only had to get those entries in. Well done, Team Serenity. You're this week's winners. With a record for the series so far, Greenfield Mice have absolutely run away with it with 15 points. Which means that Team Llama have got their first win. Kaz, you absolutely nailed it this week. 12 points, outstanding win. The winner of this week's episode is Dr. Fish's Witches with the undercover crisp stealing operation. Dr. Fish's Witches steal the crown for this week. 13.5 points. Winner of the episode was Dr. Fish's Witches with 12 points. Winner of this week's episode, and it's not been a while, it has been a while, since they've actually been taking part and winning. Greenfield Mice, you win this episode with 13 points. And with an amazing 16 points, rightly deserved so. You had such a cracking week, and what a way to end the series. House of Lumiere, you came first. Well done with 16 points. EMJ All-Stars, they were in for a couple of weeks only. However, Paul made a really good job of fitting everything around his usual day. I know that he struggled. However, he's one of the teams that he just came in with a natural flair, and he got it. He got the sense of humour that was required for the task, so I really enjoyed theirs. The Queen's Son, I know that he struggled with this because of the fact that obviously he's Polish, it wasn't his first language, and so, it was difficult for him to interpret it. However, he did have some cracking entries, which, a couple of them won. I will never forget, instead of something blending into the background, he chose something that was literally blending in the background, which was a cigarette in a blender, which was just absolutely fab. And you can never, ever forget the national anthem of Mozambique. Congratulations. I put the Avengers and the Cumbrians in the same sort of category for this video, just because of the fact that Erin and Jane and her family, they were all related. However, they decided to choose it, to enter from two different teams. Highlights of them: Erin doing the weakest link was brilliant, and the scream scene in the shower, very good. Whereas with the Cumbrians, obviously something that should have been thrown out a long time ago, and they decided to put their mum in a bin bag. That was a very brave choice to do, but yet again, bonus worthy, so brilliant. Team Watfries, really enjoyed their entries. They were a different style of team. They brought something that was definitely from the heart to the game. It spoke a lot about their life, a lot about the relationship that they have and the experiences that they have had, and they managed to bring that to all of the shows. It was such a shame that it didn't really work out time-wise for them, and I think in the future, I'm gonna have to think about what time is appropriate, because obviously it's a shame that these people get to miss out. However, from what I've heard, she's doing really well, and she's been tuning in every week. So yeah, it's been great to be working with Claire and Team Watford again.
What's that? Something House. That's the coolest name anyway. I can't remember it now, but that's the coolest name.
For me, it was House of Lumiere with the Mario Karts. That was my favourite one. When the mushroom making the boing noises, absolute genius.
Obviously, Mario from the House of Lumiere. And the Mission Impossible, hilarious.
I think our favourite team though has to be
House of Lumiere. Brilliant.
Their imagination, their humour, the creativity, spot on, and therefore the best overall entry I think has to be House of Lumiere's lip sync.
But I also liked House of Lumiere's Mario Kart game thing, jumping over the mushrooms in the garden. Genius, absolute genius. In fact, it was one of those things that you kind of saw it and you kind of thought, why didn't I do that, or why didn't I think of that? It was very, very good, very good.
House of Lumiere were, how can you describe it? They were exceptional at what they did. The pair of them worked really well as a team together, and you could tell that they were going to take the comedy edge right from the bat. They had resources that were traditional, like party gear. It's in the drag box. It's amazing. And they really stood out. The week that they did Mario and the Mission Impossible, those were their first weeks. And yet again, nobody could get comfortable whenever Lumia were playing, because they knew how much imagination that you'd have to bring to the table in order to beat them. So this team were amazing in the sense of competition, and I can't thank them enough for it, for bringing that fresh energy to the table.
Oh, we had the Alka Hooligans as well. Yeah, they had really good ones as well.
Alka Hooligans, the shots in 30 seconds, amazing.
I've got a lot of love for Nick and the Alka Hooligans because of the fact that Nick had a challenge in the fact that he was always playing on his own. It was really interesting because of the fact that I know that Nick's got a really, really acute sense of humour. So it was great to see inside his brain and what he thought of the challenges and how he interpreted them. The one that made me laugh so much was, there was two actually. There was the time travelling toast. That was amazing because he'd really actually thought about the before and after, whereas some people went a little bit safer with time travel. And also the Easter scene, where basically he just screamed into the video, "I'm alive!" And yeah, literally, you can't replace things like that. Well done, Nick. That was an amazing job.
The commitment to pouring a bottle of red wine over oneself was great.
And obviously Team Lomax, I think, to be honest with you, if they'd have been in it from the beginning, and if they could have done every week, I reckon they'd have smashed it and we'd have all been way behind them.
Team Lomax was the Street Fighter box thing. And also the rug they ordered from Amazon, which was good news into bad news. That was hilarious.
The one where Natalie was doing, what's that game show called? Love Island. That was just hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Team Lomax were extremely entertaining and also challenging team. As in, I've always said, and a few other teams I think you'll see in the videos have said this, that if Team Lomax were in it right from the beginning, then the whole scenario may have been very, very different, because they had something that at times was absolutely award-winning. It was genius. Like the Love Island episode was just amazing. I mean, like, I heard on that week that, like, obviously Vicky wasn't feeling very well, so Natalie picked it up, and she just picked it up and ran with it. It was just absolutely incredible. They brought a sense of humour that just can't be replaced. It was fantastic to work with them, and I hope that, like, we'll be friends in the future.
A cliffhanger. I thought the butter was genius, by the way. And that was like, I need to have a piece of this pie myself.
Team Serenity were really good.
Serenity, my favourite one was when they had that little griffin and the jousting peeps. That was inspired. So funny.
Team Serenity, I haven't connected with Rachel in, like, years, and it was so nice to have a team from across the pond. So it turned it into an international game, and at first, the one thing that I really appreciated about Team Serenity was there was a sense of growth in it, because in the first few weeks, like, obviously we're still trying to work out time. Because of the fact that, like, you know, she's from America, so we had to work out, like, when she could play. But at the same time, it was kind of like, in the first few weeks, she only managed to do, like, 3 or 4 entries, and she was sort of struggling. And I think it was an element of confidence, but it was so special to see that first week that she won. As in, she got all the 10 entries out. You could tell that she really enjoyed it. And it opened doors of creativity that, like, I don't know if I or even she realised that she had. And that's one of the greatest things I loved about this show, because of the fact that you get to see an element of growth, and Team Serenity were, at the end of it, a force to be reckoned with. If you're going to headbang to Bohemian Rhapsody and nearly fall over, you're going to win the point. So yeah, it really was, like, special to work with Rachel.
The one with the train, it's good to know that I am not the only person fighting my way to work every day.
Team Llama, well, Kaz, what can I say? Unbelievable. Like, literally. She had her own challenges because of the fact that, like, you know, sometimes, like, everybody wasn't really in the mood to do it in her household, and so she still had to, like, knuckle down and do it, and it was really... I don't know how to say it. It was really heartwarming to hear, like, the journey that she was going on, and with her video just saying that it was such a shame that she'd put this old Kaz that I knew from university, the funny, the hilarious one, the creative one, into a box. And I'm really happy that we've helped to get that out, because that is an amazing side to anybody, that ability to do that. And so I hope that she never loses it, and she knows that, like, it's okay to let your hair down. And, you know, it was really good to see the journey that she went on. It's exceptional to see her first win. That week that she got the win in was her best week of all. It was incredible. And ever since then, her entries, as she said, the other teams were pushing her, and her entries just started to get better and better and better.
Dr. Fishy's, well,
They're an absolute god.
where do I start? The first one that will always stick in my mind is the something slippery.
Dr. Fisher's Witches, seeing Adrian slide across the kitchen floor in his underpants.
That was brilliant.
Well, without any bias, my favourite team are Dr. Fishy's Witches. I just love how, even though there was different people doing it every week, and you know, they just bought a house and they were doing so much stuff in there, and it was great to see him still getting involved, and it's meant that I can, like, you know, connect with my dad again. So that was really nice. Who is your favourite team?
I don't know. Us.
Dr. Fisher's Witches were amazing. It was really interesting to see Adrian and his lovely partner Sherelle, and understanding, like, who they are. I know Adrian from the hotel, but basically, like, I didn't know how creative they were as a couple, and it was interesting to see how they adapted to each of the challenges, because of the fact that they were moving house quite a lot, and it was just kind of like they had to make do with what they've got. I think that, like, you know, there were times that, like, they had to fight for their place in the competition, just because of the fact that we had Lomax and House of Lumiere, who came in with a very similar tone, and so it was kind of like everybody had to fight for those bonus points, but they did manage to, like, go past that obstacle and reach a new high. It was brilliant to see, and also, like, you know, it was very, like, heartwarming to see them get the 10 points back from Team Lomax. That was great, because of the fact that obviously we didn't really explore the taking away and adding points enough in order for it to make, like, a fair impact, and so that was the best way of balancing it out. It was brilliant.
Team TL went for it all the time, and part of the reason was their commitment to the Eurovision reenactment with the knitting and everything. It was phenomenal. I will treasure that moment. That was brilliant.
Team TL were really good.
TL, the nymph in the shower, that was hilarious. and the lip syncing to Whitney. That was funny.
Team TL, very good team. We're talking about the forefront runners here, so it was really good to actually reconnect with Gary and Dean. Some of the entries that they gave in were just spectacular. They have a sense of worldliness about them, and I've had so many experiences that really set them up very well for this challenge, but some of them also put them outside of the box. It made them like go, okay, this is not my comfort zone, but they did really well. The Eurovision video Australia was incredible, and to be honest, all of the geography ones, you know that they just went snap, brilliant, I've got this. So yeah, fantastic team TL.
The Greenfield Mice Mafia Duck, that made me chuckle.
The Greenfield Mice are crazy, never know what to expect.
And the Greenfield Mice, they were good.
My favourite entry so far is the Mafia negotiations with a duck. I mean, that's just awesome.
And yeah, lastly we have the Greenfield Mice. So Greenfield Mice, what a pleasure to work with. I think that the game definitely made them come out of the box a lot more and realise that, like, you know, as a partnership, it's great to be silly and to have those fun times. It's really difficult being parents, as probably most of you understand. And so it was nice. On one side you had Arwell with, like, he was the main actor, obviously, and he had the beautiful voice. But on the other side you had Jules with a sense of, like, there was something very sort of Stephen Hawking's about her thinking, like Corona Tunity and the riddle. Like, you could tell that she was the brains. It was unbelievable. But at the same time, they worked very well as a team. They'd have moments of inspiration that were just incredible. Like, who would think of finding a baby on the doorstep would make you late for work? Well, I wouldn't, that's for sure. But there's no one denying that, like, you know, Greenfield Mice were deserved winners, and so it was brilliant. There was they brought a great sense of Lego and fairness and love about the whole game, which, like, is what sums it all up.
Anything we're taking away from the spirit is don't take yourself too seriously.
No.
What would you say?
Well, if you've seen my karaoke performance, I definitely do not take yourself too seriously. In fact, anything that I pretty much was in.
Actually, what I'll take away from this is Lucy has never done karaoke. So for Lucy to do karaoke, I am taking that with me, that she has never done it, and now she has. So that's...
And for everyone who listening, don't worry, I never will be doing karaoke ever again, so you're all safe.
Yeah, you're all safe. But
all
maybe,
safe.
Maybe we should do lip syncing again. I think you should.
I need a drag name.
You think you come up with something, or you think you're not going to be able to come up with something in 30 minutes. And you see this list of 10, I can do that, I can do that, I have no idea how to do that. And you ended up managing to do everything in 30 minutes. I don't think we missed anything. So, you know, the highlight was realising what we could do, really, and passing, how to pass some time on a Sunday and a Wednesday evening. Which I'm thinking from that is it's going to be nice to have Wednesdays and Sundays as quiet evenings.
Yeah.
Just be able to sit down and eat food and not have to be diving into showers or weird costumes or outdoing other people.
And what we're taking away from the experience, I think we've had great fun. I think it's something we'd like to carry on because it's been really good to come together and do it. We actually did a birthday party online for Natalie for her 26th birthday, and part of that was a scavenger hunt as well, where I hosted it, and we hosted a quiz show as well. So it's given us lots of ideas that we can take forward from the future. But the main thing is just really nice that we all got together and did something that was fun and took our mind off doing the house up and off being on lockdown and the whole COVID-19 thing. So Rowbags has done a fantastic job there.
So the highlights for me
would be everything.
Yeah, would be everything. I've enjoyed coming out of my shell a little bit. I've enjoyed seeing the others consistently bringing the level up and trying hard to compete with that. It's been really fun. The experience that I'm taking away from it is just laughter and fun.
Anything you've taken away from the experience?
Well, Dan's a pretty reserved guy. He's very to himself. This has made him really come out his shell. He doesn't even use social media that much, and now he's plastered all over it.
The highlight of the whole thing is got to be the host. The host with the most brings the joy every time. This from the start to finish. He's been fantastic. Cheers. Thank you very much.
My biggest takeaway is the importance for me to focus intensely on something that is off the wall for a little while on a pretty regular basis, that it's fun, it's a good thing to do.
The highlights and kind of what we've taken from the experience is getting to spend time with Vicky and Dan, even though we can't see each other at the moment. I think that's kind of the main highlight, and it's brought us all closer together, and you know, we've made some new friends, and we got to do the Eurovision as well, and it was just, I think, the bonding thing, and it was great for mental health during the lockdown, and even us too, isn't it? It just stops us from kind of sitting around not doing anything, and yeah.
So, what have I taken away from this? Well, personally, I've realised that it's okay to be creative and to be silly. It's given me a massive sense of confidence. There were quite a few low points for me throughout this, like just personally not being able to overcome obstacles that we're having, like organisation and vocabulary, and I managed to do it. I managed to pull something out of the bag. I managed to start a project. I managed to finish it, and also, like, you know, I managed to realise that how nice it is to feel really good about making other people happy. It's okay to, if you feel like doing something that you know is going to make somebody else smile, then just do it, because of the fact that I know that it goes a long way, and I'm really happy to see the messages of like how, you know, people have enjoyed it. So yeah, you've got to do everything to enjoy this life, because life is too short. I know that, and sometimes I'm a bit too serious as well. So this has really helped me, like, help you. It's great.
So what's next for the team? Well, if you saw our parallel universe,
yeah.
After doing that video, we've decided we're going to try for a little baby ourselves.
Oh God.
Turkey baster. If it is.
I don't want a baby.
I don't want a baby either. I don't even want all the children.
Let's stay in this life. Let's not go to the parallel
Maybe we'll
life.
just get another dog. Jezebel the poodle. Yeah. Anyway, that's us. House of Lumiere's thoroughly enjoyed the whole experience, and we thank you so much, Rowan, for doing it.
Thank you, Uncle Rowbags.
What's next for our team? Who knows? I'm hoping somebody comes up with a really good idea and says, let's try doing this now, because, yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, for us, I think it's 2 weeks in Hawaii. Oh, hang on, we can't go, can we? Anyway, it'll be 2 weeks here, half-term holidays. No, there's nothing next for our team, just we'll wait for the next,
we'll keep
you
an
know,
open
little
mind.
bit of fun and join in if we can, and that's it, really. Take care.
Bye-bye.
What's next for our team is a bit of a rest.
And we'll take away from it just amazing memories. You look back on those videos, and friends have as well. They've seen the ones that we've posted on Facebook, and they can't believe what we've been getting up to over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
So thank you, particularly to Rowan, for setting this up, for doing all of this, and keeping us entertained over 8 weeks.
And thank you for forcing us to be creative as well, because it was just, it was very, very good. Really, really good. So thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
What's next for our team? Hopefully finish this house. Move to Blackpool. Well, I've already moved to Blackpool, but moving to this house in Blackpool. And hopefully get together and do some more scavenger hunts in the future. So thank you very much indeed. And cheers, Rowbags.
What's next for us?
Since we've seen Rowan again, we were thinking we might sing along again. Me and my mum. Him and my mum are friends. This has actually been an opportunity to get them to see each other once again, and I'm kind of like that.
There we go. It's been nice to connect with you again, Uncle Rowbags, and other people, and everyone's been really supportive of each other. They've all taken it in the spirit of fun, a bit of competition, but I think you proved that when it was taking points away, that nobody wanted that, and they gave the points back. So it's been a very fair game, and it's been fun. The main thing is it's been fun, and well done you for coming up with such amazing, intriguing,
Puzzling
lists twice a week for 6 or 7 weeks. That's absolutely brilliant, and for keeping us on our toes. Yeah.
What's next for Team Lomax?
The world.
The world. And being able to hug everyone.
And what's next for our team? Hopefully we get to see them. Get to see the other members.
That would be good. And if Rowbags does carry on, it would be great. Even if it was on like a, odd Christmas and Halloween specials.
I'd love to see a Halloween special of Rowbags. That'd
really
be brilliant.
It'd be funny.
Yeah. If it was carrying on, we'd go out and get loads of fancy dressing and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's very sad to see it go.
What's next for me? Well, I'm a teacher, so I am trying to figure out what the heck is going to happen next year, and trying to figure out how to incorporate my students and all the new technology I've been learning.
What is next for Uncle Rowbags? Well, on a serious note, there's a few things that I need to do. There is, I've got to finish off a few of my courses. I've been asked to do a bit of work before I go back to the hotel. But on a personal level, what's next? There's a few ideas that are rushing around my brain, which I might run past you guys. You never know. Might be a quiz show on the horizon, who knows. As for Uncle Rowbags, I think definitely he needs to do a bit of exercise, because the waistcoat was getting tighter every week to the point where I couldn't breathe. But it might be nice. You might see him come back after a bit of a rest for maybe Halloween. It might be nice if we all dress up, or if you all talk to me about maybe a Christmas one. That would be good. Obviously, it would be great to have as many people play as possible, so I don't know what your routines are like at Christmas, so maybe let me know. You never know, Boxing Day might be a good one to do. But yeah, let's get together and let's do it. Also, the reunion. I plan to get as many of you together in Manchester. That would be amazing once everything is done with coronavirus. Just because of the fact that I think it'd be good for us all to meet, and we've all got something in common now, which you can't take away. As in, if we'd have just done an activity outside of lockdown, I don't think it would have had the same impact. But I think this has got the potential to have formed quite a few bonds between us and make new friendships, because this is something that we've all gone through together and really enjoyed. So yeah, I got to thank you for making me smile and me laugh, because you've brought as much joy into my life as I have yours, so I look forward to it. Okay. I want to say an absolute thank you. I've been through a few difficult days and a few difficult weeks with family matters, not feeling well, and just generally the whole thing about lockdown, and you guys are the most important people. You have made me smile, you've made the rest of the world smile, and nothing ever will change this. Well done, and thank you so much. But also, I want to tell you, never ever forget this feeling. Okay? People take life too seriously. Maybe at home you have been really serious with your life. You've got jobs, you've got kids and everything else. But it's okay to let your hair down. Okay? Because when you do, you have a feeling of silliness, and you can help anybody. If you can make somebody laugh, you can change somebody's day. And never forget that, yeah? You've got so much talent, and you guys have been incredible, okay? I'm going to try and get the compilation tape done as soon as possible, and I might be doing a very special Uncle Rowbags for Christmas, okay? So, stay creative. I look forward to seeing what everybody is doing for the next however many months. And do you know what? I might be sending you a little message in 6 months' time just reminding you of what you said, okay? Perfect. I love you all, and well done, and stay creative, positive, and changing the world. Mwah.